Yeehaw, motherfuckers!
There, I guess that's a better opening than anything I had. Welcome to the GameWithAll.com Talking Shit podcast. My name's Luke Scrim.
Hey, what up, Pino25?
Idlers.
And I'm Rick. No one's gonna make me say my full name, my nickname.
Oh, it's Sexy McGee.
Was that
Sexy
Sexy
McGee?
Voice?
No, it's
No,
Sexy
Sexy
Voice
Voice
Rick.
Sexy Voice Rick.
Trapped in the dark.
Give it a tone. Say your name. Full.
Sexy Voice Rick.
Oh baby, that's
I'll take it back. This is the worst thing that we've ever done.
Well, you made him come up with a damn name. It's all your fault.
That's true.
What are we shitting about
You
this?
sure you don't want a piece of me, buddy?
I'm pretty sure I'm good.
It's a complete shit show already. All right, let's continue. I'm killing some cavemen.
Isn't that like a repeated line with you? Like, it's a complete shit show already. You've said that for the last 3 talking shits, and there's only been 3 talking shits.
Yeah, it completely goes
We also
downhill.
said-
So is that's going to be our catchphrase for the podcast?
Yeah.
It's complete shit show.
We also say
Well,
that during the Tech It Off.
To be fair, last week was literally a shit show because we started talking about shit.
Yeah, we
you
did.
People.
We did talk about shit directly about shit. This time I want to talk about a piece of shit, which is my car. Oh my god!
They fixed it for free.
They fixed it for free, luckily. But that's moving on. They didn't have a choice. It was part of the fucking warranty that they
Well,
had to
there you
fix
go.
it.
Count
But-
yourself lucky.
So
You
here,
had warranty.
here's how my shitty day started for that. I went to do my taxes, okay? Because, you need to get that done. You have to do your taxes, all that bullshit like that. So I found out that because I had my kid and we had the Harper child tax thing that went through, we got fucked. Like, the amount of money that...
people.
Yeah, everyone I talked to about that had that on their taxes, they've had to pay in. I got lucky enough that I didn't have to pay in. I just barely. But at the same time, it's just like you were supposed to get this much, but because that was in here, you got this much. So like this is the maximum amount that I could have got for my taxes. This is how much they've taken away, and how much I got. It was a fucking shit show. I didn't fucking understand a single bit of it. But after that, so after dealing with that shit and getting extremely pissed off about it, we drive home. Me and Kate get out of the car. Everything's good. Kate's like, okay, I need to go get my prescription, and I'm going to buy some smokes and stuff. So she goes, gets in the car, and she comes back in less than 5 minutes, and the car would not fucking start. No electrical, nothing. Just every time you turn the key, gone.
So what year is this Fiesta? Out of curiosity.
The car is a 2013 Fiesta.
Wow.
So not even 3 years, and we just bought it earlier this year. 2015 it was in 2015 summer.
Yeah, you bought it in August.
Yeah. So we just got it. We turned the key. The only thing moving is the gauges, and they're just doing this. Just twitching.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're just twitching, and they're not moving. No electricity is going through the car. If I hit the lock button on the keys, it doesn't even do anything. So I had to call up Ford, and they sent a tow truck. They gave us a rental car for the day, and they had to go fix it. Apparently, the transmission computer blew out. Just gone. So, full day later, we get the car back. Everything's working fine. But I'm just like, this fucking piece of shit. And especially after we get the rental car. This is the thing. They gave us a fucking Ford Explorer. Big fucking SUV, gas guzzler. I didn't want to give that back by the time they hit the car.
Well, that's
got
a,
fixed.
Right, they give you a fully loaded one to hope you trade in.
Exactly. It was fully loaded, had Sirius FM, had like the sunroof, it had everything, and I'm just there. I'm like, I have room for my legs. This is nice. I'm not squishing my daughter in the back to try to like get leg room. This is very nice. And then again the Fiesta, and I'm just like,
Down the road, things will get better for you,
okay.
and you'll know what to get.
Yeah, that's
Get a giant
Luke,
fucking
your
gas
body
guzzler.
will adjust. You'll become a munchkin, and you'll fit. Don't worry.
Oh yeah,
It's called evolution, Luke. You'll evolve.
It's called
don't worry.
amputation.
it's called buying your second vehicle.
yeah. That's pretty much what we need.
I recommend
Yeah.
a Subaru, FYI.
Of course you do. You're a Subi fan. I mean,
Both of the cars I've ever owned were off the shore floors because I grew up with my family taking second and third hand cars constantly, and they were nothing but always in the garage for something.
well, this
Yeah.
is technically our third car. The first two that we
But
bought
the second-
were
Oh my god.
yeah. The first one that we bought from a friend for $1,000.
It was a crapper Pontiac Sunfire 2-door piece of crap.
Yeah. Now the
I
thing
remember
is,
that car.
when we bought that, we did not think we were going to have River. We did not know that Kate was going to get pregnant.
Surprise!
Kate got pregnant, so we had a two-door car with rust on it that was steadily growing more, and we couldn't do anything about it. And it just came down to the point that it was like, okay, you have to repair it because it has now affected your motor inspection, and the amount that it's going to cost to repair it is less than what you'll get for scrapping it, or is more you'll get
More
for
than what it's
scrapping it.
worth for the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we ended up doing. We ended up scrapping it. The second one we get is we buy from a friend who, once again, told us that everything was good with it. There's only these little problems, like there's the hole in muffler that needs to be fixed, and there's this other thing that I forget at the time that needed capacitor that needed to be fixed that wasn't going to cost that much.
Buick
A flux
LaCrapper.
It wasn't even a capacitor. It was something small. I really wish I remember what it was. Just a second. It was what? A tie rod end. Which
I rotted. Wow, you weren't even close, buddy.
yeah, I wasn't. So we get told that this was going to be about $100 fix for pretty much both things, and we bring it into a shop to find out. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you have rust underneath the tire well that's going to dislodge your tire. You also have like 5 other problems that were not mentioned to you at all, and you have no idea what they are, but they're very important."
Did you find out what they were?
I found out what they were, and I'm like, oh,
Oh,
fuck.
I remember you mentioned this to me. You had like brake lines. Didn't you have a hole in the floors too?
We had, yeah, there was a hole in the floor. There was a brake line that needed to get fixed. There was a gas line that needed to get fixed.
Which is
what
never
else?
good.
Yeah, which is never good.
It's
It
like
just
the worst thing that can happen. That's fire hazard.
it just kept
Like-
going, and like
Yeah.
we had this car less than a month, and we were like, we can't sell it back to them, can we? No.
You're stuck with your Buick LaCrapper.
So we trashed that one. We got that one scrapped for parts. And actually, no, it didn't get scrapped for parts. Somebody bought it because they wanted to use it for their farm. So they repaired what they needed for the farm so that it's not road conditioned, and they were good there. I mean, that's fine. And then we get that, and then this shit happens. And we're just like, our luck with cars is fucking shitty.
Well, if you would have bought a Subaru, you wouldn't have had any issues.
I don't think I'm going to be
Or,
buying
or a
Suzuki
Honda.
anytime soon.
Personally, if you were to buy another car, go for a Honda. You can't go wrong with a Honda. But really, a 2013 on the computer let go. That's
Well,
fucked up.
it's
Yeah,
funny because
they're mass produced.
a month after we had it, there was a recall on it, and we brought the car in to do the recall of the part, and it was the exact same part that mentioned that
Really?
you may have problems turning on your car or having electricity go through the car. And it's like, oh, okay, that's we'll bring it in with our tire change and get that fixed up. Brought it in, they did that, everything's good. Blows out like by the end of that was at the beginning of winter to now.
Huh.
So about
So
mid
they
October.
replaced it with the stock one and never fixed the problem.
That's what it seems like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, luckily everything was still under warranty. The only thing I had to pay for was the $20 of. Oh, hey, I just realized the cat's in the background.
Kitty. Your crotch.
There you go. Bit of privacy there. Yeah, everything was under warranty. The only thing I had to pay for was the quarter of gas for the car for the rental, which
rental,
ended up
yeah.
being $20
Yep.
for a quarter of gas. That was
How
filled
would it
at the
been you all
beginning.
filled it up before going? It might have been cheaper.
Well, no, when we left, it was a full tank. Like when you leave, you get a full tank of
Yeah.
gas.
I know what I mean, but I would have brought it back with a full tank before getting there.
Yeah, no, that's
It
what you
might
have to
been
do.
cheaper.
That's what
Yeah.
you have to do.
Oh, so you paid for the $20 before bringing it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought you paid them $20.
No, you have to pay for the gas before bringing it back. That's their one rule, and
Yeah.
In good condition.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna go take it off-roading.
No,
Well,
You can. Don't want to
it was a Ford Explorer. I mean,
Yeah, I mean the potholes in the roads were probably too much for it anyhow.
yeah, I'm sorry, but the Ford Explorer is no longer a truck; it's a car.
that's true.
It's based off the Ford Fusion. So
That is true. Yeah.
To be
no-
fair, you're also wrong. If it was the all-wheel drive version or four-wheel drive version, it's technically a sports utility vehicle.
wow.
Doesn't matter if it's a
Right.
four-door sedan, a van, a pickup, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what they're called now if they have four-wheel drive.
I'm not drawing you like one of my French cats. So yeah, that was my shitty week. It's not as shitty of a week as this guy though. That I want to talk about. Let's see. He was from Concord, North Carolina. The guy's name is John Mayer, which is not related to the singer. He was put in handcuffs on Tuesday, the same day I had all this shit go on. He was put in handcuffs, and that was after the police found an outstanding warrant for his arrest for not returning a VHS he rented back in 2002. And, of course, what fucking movie did he rent? Freddy Got Fingered.
When video stores used to be a
sausages.
thing.
So, yeah, he rented Freddy Got Fingered on VHS, the poor motherfucker, and then for renting that and not bringing it back, he was fined $200 and put in handcuffs. So, this is just fucking ridiculous. I mean, is it enough of a punishment that he watched the movie in the first place?
It wasn't that bad of a movie.
It wasn't that
Oh,
bad.
it was
funny
fucking
for
awful.
it was
Dude,
bad,
dude,
but at the time,
You got
that's
to
the
watch
kind
him
of
jerk off a horse. What more do you want?
I can tell you what I don't want in a movie: a guy jacking off a horse.
at the time, that's the kind of humor that actually did pretty well because that was basically the beginning of the Jackass era sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, it was right before.
Yeah.
Look
So
at you, Daddy. I'm a farmer, Daddy.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
You guys are all horrible people, mind you. Just saying.
Classic cinema, Luke. Get with it.
But
I mean,
yeah,
the only cool thing about that movie was that they really did go with how bad the critics were giving it. I mean, there was only like one 5-star rating, and everyone else was just like, "No, this fucking sucks," and that was all on the cover. So I mean, you had to go with it. But yeah, this was the statement that he had. What he told his local TV station. The officer said, "I don't know how to tell you this, but there's a warrant out for your arrest from 2002. Apparently you rented the movie Freddy Got Fingered and never returned it." I thought he was joking. Now, he was allowed to continue his to his daughter's school, where he was actually off to go to when he got pulled over for broken taillight. And that's where the officer was able to find this. He went to the station, was placed in handcuffs, charged with failure to return rental property, which is a misdemeanor punishable by a fine of $200. So this actually has a happy ending in the end, because Tom Green saw this and was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it was like, "It's $200. Of course, I'll pay him for it. It's just principle for the thing."
Like, thanks for watching my movie, buddy.
Yeah, it's like you watched it. Here you go.
Thanks for being a fan.
yeah, it's got that weird sort of thing. Like, obviously, the law is the law. I mean, it's a minor misdemeanor, but you would think that for something so minor like a movie rental, which is only like $20 for the actual VHS,
Most, yeah.
That it would still carry over like 14 years later, and they would still arrest the guy for it.
They have to get the rental rights to the movie, which is a little more than $20.
I'm pretty sure they made that back in the day they started renting it.
Oh yeah, probably. But I'm just saying it's more than $20 for sure.
Yeah, at the same time, it's just like I know people who, like, even before Blockbuster got closed down, who still have their stuff from Blockbuster. To be honest.
Well, yeah. How many people still have games with the Blockbuster sticker that they didn't pay for?
Blockbuster. I know a lot of people who went to Rogers back when they rented games. Yeah. They would use a fake phone number and a fake name from the telephone book, open up an account, and rent 2 games and never bring them back.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I was very good about, like, if I rented a game, it was back on time or whatever. The only one exception was the one time I thought I brought it back, and I was sure of it, and then it came back like 2 months later. Hey, I got a bill for like $60 for a game. Where's the game? And it turned out to be like in the collection. But I think the worst part about renting was when I was very young. You didn't need all that information. Like, if the clerk knew you, because like around here it's just small towns, they didn't ask for too much, just your name and your phone number, and that was it. But I used to live in Drummond at the time. I'm sure Luke would know this better.
Yeah.
I used to live in Drummond at the time, and at 10, maybe 11 years old, I would walk all the way to Grand Falls to the metro. And rent there, and then walk all the way back home. So that's almost 4 hours just straight walking. And one day they decide that, nope, you needed a valid license or something in order to rent. And I was so heartbroken. I got home, and I explained to them, like, where's your game? They wouldn't let me. They said I need a license at 11 years old. I didn't quite catch what they were trying to do. Obviously, they needed verification or something.
Yeah.
But like, I've been renting there for 5 years. Somebody should have, the owner or something could have said, "Hey, I know this kid" or whatever.
Well, it gave you a fair warning of next time.
They didn't even say that. They just said, "Nope, you can't have it." There was no warning like, "Hey, this is coming into play next time you," or whatever, because I'd be there every weekend.
Yeah.
But after that point, I'd stopped renting games, and I would just save up to buy games from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, I would
the,
never rent or buy. I was too poor.
Oh,
the worst
renting.
I've ever had renting something was actually once again back when Blockbuster was open, and the Wii came out. So Tatsunoko versus Capcom and Silent Hill Shattered Memories came out.
I have those.
So I went and rented those, and I was like, okay, I'm going to play those and have fun. I completely forgot about giving them back.
I
And
remember that.
it was 2-3 months before I was able to actually go to Blockbuster after, because at the time I started working back over on the other side of the river, and when I got to there and I was like, oh hey, you have 2 games out, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot they were rented. It's been so long since I've been up here. It's like, well, here's what you can do. You buy the game at the price that they're at now, which is $29 each, or you can pay the amount that's due, which is $135.
Yeah.
That's a pretty easy question there.
And then I was like, I just when I remembered talking with them just prior to this, or EB prior to this, and they were like, oh, Tatsunoko versus Capcom and Shattered Memories are both discontinued off the system. I have no idea why that brought up in conversation, like just few hours before, but it just ended up being like, okay, these games are discontinued. If you want them, you can't find them anymore. And then
Yeah,
I get down
and
there and like, oh yeah, you still have these out, and it's $29 now.
so worth it. They were
I was like,
amazing games.
sure thing, here you go. Just, I'll buy that right now.
Pretty much.
So yeah, that was the worst I've ever uh, that's ever happened to me at a rental place.
I think
It's
I got
just
Tatsunoko for like $10.
probably because you got it during when somebody traded it in.
No,
Probably.
I bought it at Best Buy at Future Shop when
Oh.
it was on clearance.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's why.
But I did have the fight stick before. I bought that for like $10 because EB had this sale going on for like Boxing Day or something.
Something at EB for $10. Fuck. That must have been some time ago.
No. If you got the right sales, you could get all sorts of crap for next to nothing. I got tons of shit that I barely paid any money for.
Yeah, the one they had here, everything was almost GameZilla pricing, and then they shut down last year, so I can't even buy it there anymore.
Yeah.
EB games. That place won't be missed. Not by me, at least.
Didn't care for the business, but some of the people that were there I actually knew, so that's why
Yeah.
I shopped there. But yeah, if it was completely run by people I didn't know at all, I probably wouldn't have gone there at all to begin with.
See, I enjoy EB just for the people that I have up here, because the EB that we have up here is definitely one of the better ones I've been to, especially in New Brunswick.
Well, they don't have a manager, the one in Moncton. So-
Yeah.
The one in Moncton's the size of a closet, and I think there's only like 3, maybe 4 EBs in New Brunswick altogether.
There's 2 in Fredericton, there's 1 in Moncton, 1 in Dieppe, 1 in Miramichi, and 1 in St. John. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, so about 5 or 6 then.
The one in Fredericton in Regent Mall is shitty. It's tiny.
And
It's
the closest one to me, and it's 2 hours
Yeah.
away.
The one on Trinity is actually really decently big. The one in the mall, since they moved it's in Dieppe, it's not as bad. It's gotten better.
Okay.
But yeah.
But the EB one, it's still small, but like the one in Miramichi, it's still small. But the people that are there that are what you want for a company that's supposed to sell you games. Like,
Yeah.
they at least know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, I worked at the EB that we had here the first year they were here because
Also,
I just happened to walk up on them as they were unloading the truck. Is like, you guys need help? Sure. Then they hired me on the spot, and I just started unpacking to load up the store.
nice.
But for the first 5 months, I think I was the only person that was intimately familiar with the games there. Like everybody else, like the manager was from a clothing store, and she was one of those stereotypical French people, like
I'm
very,
just
very
here
odd.
for the paycheck, and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very odd, and had a lot of really stringent rules that didn't make sense. And by the end, they were casting suspicion on me because I questioned their security because I was worried that their camera placements were not good because there was some of the people there were getting blindsided and stolen from. Like the case that was used on me in particular is that this really heavy set guy would come in with his girlfriend or whatever, who was a lot smaller than him, and they would stand in a way that when I'm cashing in other customers, I couldn't see what was going on past him, and she was just nicking things off the wall, and then
Nice.
they would walk off, and somehow that was my fault. So that's when I like, oh, I'm done here. I quit. So that's just the sort of thing. And they're like, well, you were questioning security. I'm like, no, because these are the things that you need to worry about. You own a store. And yeah, I had a bad taste in my mouth regarding EBA ever since. So
I think it's really just the people that you like. In this case, it's the people that you work with is what
yeah,
really killed it.
Yeah, it's all, yeah.
yeah, and when I came back from college, it was an entirely different set of people, and some of them I got along pretty well with, so it was okay for that. But then EB, like the company in general, decided to shut that store down entirely, and the only place you can get games here now is the local Walmart, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's
That's Walmart.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's
yeah.
why I like PC gaming. Just buy them on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the span of the last year, I've definitely shifted more towards PC gaming, along with my PlayStation, away from Xbox, because last generation I was heavy Xbox gaming, and in the last 12 months, my Steam library grew from like 20 something to 174.
Yeah, I'm at about 140
Yeah,
right now.
You've been buying a lot of those humble bundles.
Yep.
Love those.
Well, the
I'm
humble
at
bundles are
301. 301. Oh my god.
Well, and Humble Monthly is
Oh.
amazing. You get really damn good stuff for 12
yeah,
bucks
you
a month.
really do.
Because
Yeah,
I
you guys
got,
were talking about your games. I had to look at mine. I'm just kind of discouraged.
what did I get this month?
I
I
have
got,
so many games I haven't played. It's not
oh,
even
well,
funny.
yeah. That's the whole thing with PC. You're like, oh, I'll buy it, I'll play it at some point, and then you never get around to it.
Well, a lot
Well,
of the
let's
games
see.
I buy them when they're on sale just to support the developer. Like often I'll pirate the game, buy it after. But
So as of games on Steam, this is just Steam. I have 126 games. I have started none of them. I the closest I've gotten to playing anything on here was typing of the Dead Overkill. That is, and maybe Poker Night at the Inventory. That's literally the only thing I've played on here. Oh wait, no. I've played a bit of Nosgoth because I want to get into that game before we do something live on YouTube later.
Yes. Yes.
Something I can't. I can technically talk about, but I can't talk about. It's one of those weird things.
Don't break it up.
I mean, you can mention the game, but you can't talk about the game.
I can't talk about the thing that we're about to do with it.
I play it, I interact, I enjoy. The end.
Ah,
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty bad with that. I would say about 80% of the Steam games I have right now, I've not gotten past the first 5 minutes. I would load it up to check it out real quick, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
I'll go back to what I'm currently working on, because if I don't, I'm gonna do the thing like Sly does. Where I'll start a game, get about 5 hours into it, and then never touch it again, and
Yeah.
then have an entire library of just that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
have a
would do it.
lot of I've never touched it before, or I played a tiny bit just to see how it works and to see
See,
how buggy it is. Oh,
my
and
problem.
I was so tempted to buy Batman last week.
See,
Oh,
my
jeez.
problem with Steam, or anything really, like when I do like models and whatnot, I'll start them, but if I don't finish them right there and then, I'll never touch them again.
Yeah.
Like, what's that game called? Stardew Valley? Let me just find
That's
it here.
I've been playing that for like 3 days straight now. It's a really good
It's
game.
really good. Yeah, okay, here we go. I have 53 hours, and that was put in less than a week, in about 6 days, I'd say, 7 days max. So yeah, a week. But I stopped playing it, and I haven't touched it since. See, that's my problem.
It,
I'll, I can't finish something once I stop playing.
Mm.
it it really depends on the context of the game too. Like if it's a story game that you drop, like say Final Fantasy, some random Final Fantasy one, if you stop halfway through
You're
and then
not
try to
gonna.
pick it up a couple months later, you're not going to remember what you were doing.
No.
But there's other games though, like Civ 5. I play constantly still, and even if I never finish them, I'll just load up a new game and then start fresh from there and just keep playing until I'm tired of the
Well,
match before I
yeah,
finish
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, I'm the
that's
same
the
way with
whole
Civ
thing.
5. Like I'll load up a game whenever and just play, because you can play Civ 5 while doing anything else. Like it's a great multitasking game.
Yeah, it's your basic strategy game. There's
Yeah,
nothing.
It waits for you. That's what I like.
exactly. You can get up, go grab a bite, come back, keep playing. You can go for a drive. You can take a shit. Like shit show.
So, yeah, just to interrupt here, we got some news here that probably would have been good for a Game It All Live if we got
Da,
this a
da,
little
da,
bit
da, da, da,
earlier.
da, breaking news. Da, 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 da,
Breaking
da, da,
news.
da.
Watch Dogs 2 has officially been confirmed by Ubisoft, and it will be supporting DirectX 12.
Nice.
And the weird thing is, they're going to be supporting AMD, which
What's
is
weird about
bizarre
that?
for Ubisoft. That has not happened in a long time.
I guess they paid more for it.
I guess
That's what I would
I'm
assume.
still not buying an AMD card. That's meh.
Oh, you'll buy it and you'll love it, pretty
I
boy.
am not buying a freaking R9. They better go back to a better naming convention.
But even then, like if you own a video card, it'll still play it fine.
I know. I'm
It's usually like little enhancements that one card would have over another.
I know. I'm still gonna stick with my GTX for now.
Yeah, I can't even run VR right now because I'm still running a 770, so I gotta save up and buy something new later.
Yeah.
1080X.
I really want VR. Like the more I see games
Oh,
of it, the more I want it.
Sony is actually open to the idea of putting PlayStation VR on the PC.
I was gonna mention that, and that's what I forgot when Luke
That
was
that would
talking
actually
about
be
it.
very beneficial for them. It would add another player to the PC market. Not to mention
Yeah,
people
Yeah,
who play
that
console and PC will have one that can do both.
Well, we've gotten to the point that the PC is the most open platform.
this has now suddenly turned into Tech It All.
it's still regarding gaming.
Yeah, but like the PC has essentially turned into the most open platform because Microsoft is giving way to the PC, same as Sony. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, sorry, yawn. You can do you
The
can
fuck was
run
that?
and
That wasn't a yawn. That was like, it's true.
no, but the PC can do anything, right? That's what makes it so great.
Well, yeah, because
Like-
it shares all the same architecture as the PS4
Plus,
and the Xbox
on a
One.
proper PC, you could probably like run an Xbox simulator and a PS4 simulator, then play cross-platform on Rocket League with yourself on the PC.
You know, someone on half the keyboard and someone else on the other half of the keyboard.
Oh god, that
One
was
on a controller,
No, all keyboard.
all keyboard.
has to be
All
all keyboard.
Yeah.
One person using WASD, the other using arrow keys.
Yep.
Has to be.
Someone stuck with the mouse.
Yes.
Oh, for 4-player, we have the 8246 and mouse and.
Oh, and my PC, my keyboard actually has 18 macro keys that I can use.
Oh,
too.
and someone can use the F keys on the top.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck's sakes.
Yeah, can we
and-
actually set this up and live stream us like 4 people playing on one keyboard?
Hell yeah.
No.
My keyboard has this they could play with, an actual D-pad, although it's for the video.
You need to be careful about moving your camera there.
Nope, I'm very careful about that now. There's nothing wrong. Shut up.
No,
Oh yeah.
going on.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's becoming more and more of the PC is the most open platform. So yeah,
Yep.
winning.
So we all kind of agree on that.
Yeah, that's the thing we come out of it. But yeah, you can essentially get the cheapest VR experience on the
Hey,
PC now. Well,
For
at some point.
for Tech and All, can we go 1 week without talking VR?
No.
It's not my fault. That's all they're talking. That's all there is.
I mean, it's
There's
just
so much news.
so
VR.
Yeah,
much
but-
goddamn VR. I'm
Yeah,
getting
but-
sick of it.
Well, tell Nvidia.
That's
to
what, at this
scratch
point,
their
it's
ass
kind of
off.
like saying, let's do a game at all without talking about games.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty
how
much.
the site is right now?
Yeah.
You know, because no one fucking writes.
Speaking of VR, have you guys seen the boxes you can put your phone in?
Oh, you mean
What?
Google Cardboard?
There's another. Well, yeah, essentially the same thing, but Pornhub has one too that you can print out.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
had a
That's
whole episode on that.
That's I had a good name for it and I lost it. I was gonna say that's
The whack box.
the whack box. I was gonna say the jack off box, but that sounds too close to
Well, you know what?
jack
the
box.
jack off in a
All right,
box.
all right. You know what? If you bought the album from Megadeth, the latest album, you could get the VR bundle that was $16 at Walmart. That came with a set of Google Cardboard VR thing that you can go to do and put your phone in and get the full VR experience with the album.
That's pretty.
I didn't finish putting it together. It's complicated.
You have to though. I want to watch you play a horror game.
Adult supervision required.
And we know you're not adults. I mean, come on.
I know.
So
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for the most. I want to see people play horror games with VR because
Well,
it's
yeah,
that
I
much
wanna-
more
I
there's
fun.
some videos online. What do you
I
guys
wanna
think
see-
of
There's only one game I want to play on VR right now, and that is Ace Combat 7.
That'd be cool.
That is exclusive PlayStation VR. I want it. It needs to be in my hands, and I need a VR system, of course, to be on my face. But
and a proper PC?
it's PlayStation, VR.
PlayStation.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
PlayStation VR.
You need.
exclusive.
You know what you need? You know what you need? You need a PS4K, and then you're set.
Fuck that. I'll just get the normal
The
edition.
bundle.
The bundle. At least I don't look like a douchebag with a 4K one.
Yeah,
Well,
but what?
I gotta ask you guys' opinion. What do you guys think about people talking about the VR legs? You know how you lose yourself in VR, you don't realize you're not in your room.
That's called immersion, and that's really the whole point of VR. It can do more to trick your brain into really believing it's in some place that you're not.
Like how in some games you're like falling or flying, and people are actually like
Here's
panicking and dropping to the floor.
Here's my
So-
problem with VR for me. I have a kid and a wife. I cannot play VR without ignoring them, and that would not be good for me.
It's also a $600 investment.
Oh, okay. Let's just say I had the money for VR. On top of all that,
You need
I
time.
I would need the time to actually put on the VR and not be a douchebag to my family.
Well, and
And
also
that's
so you
that's
need
a hard enough problem as it is now.
That's something you can do down the road. Once your kid gets a bit older and a little more self-reliant on not, self-execution. Uh, uh,
Nah, that
Yeah.
doesn't come down. That comes down at like age 12 is what you're looking at. Even longer
Not-
than that.
Not really, because my niece is 4 years old, and when she goes to bed after 8, my sister doesn't have to worry about her till 6 o'clock. But it's one of these cases where it sounds like, at least in my perspective, it sounds like you're ragging on a system for a personal problem
Oh,
rather than a bigger issue. that would
I'm
be
not
something
saying that.
else.
I wasn't saying
Yeah.
that I was ragging on the system. I'm ragging on my personal fucking problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that
If I was ragging on the system, I said VR fucking sucks. And
Yeah,
but you know what
you
deserves
need?
to be done.
but
No,
that's,
no,
that's something a lot of people.
I'm saying personal fucking situation aside,
Okay.
Yeah.
I am fucked.
Well, you need to set some time aside and lock yourself away in a room, and then just go into the VR.
You could just be very, very sneaky. Not tell them why you're renting a hotel room.
That is shady.
just so you can play VR.
The nice
It's
thing
like-
about the PlayStation VR though is that
I'm sorry, honey. I need to rent out this this hotel room,
Or
this
a
shady hotel room, so I can play some VR.
some VR
No.
porn. But
No.
in seriousness, the nice thing that the PlayStation VR, at least from what I read, can do is that it'll still simultaneously project onto the TV what you're playing. So if there are people with you, they can still see what you're seeing, just
That
to a lesser degree.
Yeah, that part is good because I feel like VR. The problem is, this has always been my problem with gaming, is that we are tending to isolate ourselves more. It's no longer like sit on this couch and play a game with each other, unless you're beating the shit out of each other in a fighting game. Most of the time, like
I honestly
how many games have split screen nowadays?
Well, yeah, on the
How
couch,
many-
multiplayer does not barely exist anymore.
Exactly.
How many consoles had multiplayer before the 64?
The Super
Not-
Nintendo and the Nintendo and the Sega Genesis and
Yeah, they had the
No,
multiplayer.
but
the
like
Sega
how
Saturn
many?
and
I
the.
think it means like more than 2 players.
Yeah, like and
Oh
even
no!
then,
Fuck!
a
I mean,
lot,
I just want
a
one
lot
or
of
two
them were
player.
just
I don't give a
one
fuck.
player. Even today, like a lot of games are just one player, but even the Atari was all one player. The the original Nintendo, most of their games are all single player.
Whoa. The best game ever on the NES was Blades of Steel, and that was 2 players.
Legend of Zelda, Super Mario, they're all single player at a time games.
Bullshit. Super Mario's the 2-player. That
Yeah,
still
you
counts
Not
as Super Mario.
simultaneously.
I don't give a fuck if it's simultaneous or take turns or whatever. That is a 2 fucking player game.
Okay,
So
regardless of that,
if I
the
cannot
games don't need it to be multiplayer to be good.
Yeah, but
You don't
what
need
I'm
to
adding
play
to
with
this
the
is that there's no fucking like the ability to have your friend there and playing the game
No.
without you having to fucking buy a new console or a new fucking game is not there anymore.
No. Nintendo gets it right.
Nintendo, yeah.
Nintendo is the only company that still gets it right for multiplayer. For on the couch.
Yeah.
Local
Well,
multiplayer.
their party is more of a party or a family system. So
Yeah,
Like-
it's designed for local multiplayer,
Yeah.
but most games, like, a lot of the times it can actually come down to a technical reason why they can't do it. Like,
Halo 5's like, oh, you're going to
Yeah.
lose some graphical quality that we don't care about, that we want split screen because it's been in the first fucking Halo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on. We want people want split screen. People want co-op. People want to play with their friends on their console.
People like me want to be able to put a TV in their goddamn car to play games when they're driving with their friends.
Yes,
That part may be illegal, but I mean,
no,
Only if you get caught.
No, you want to play Gran Turismo 2 on your PS1 built into your car when you're doing drag racing, like in Too Fast, Too Furious.
You know, it's actually funny, but I am going to be putting a console, probably just a plain old Nintendo, in my car.
Yeah, so
because my stereo has a monitor in it.
Oh.
the basic misunderstanding here is dividing between multiplayer and like being able to play multiple people in the same game and local multiplayer where it's people playing on the same console.
Okay.
I think that's where the division between our arguments is coming into.
Fine then. The lack of local multiplayer is fucking disturbing.
It's been gone for a long time, in my opinion.
And I don't like that. And the fact that, you know, even with VR, you are now taking away even the ability to watch a friend play because it's all on their eyes.
Yeah, well, it's the
that's why the PlayStation has the output to the TV at the same time.
That's why.
And I was actually going to try to get back to that earlier, but I just had this idea that they could make it so people using the controller could move stuff around the game to make the game more challenging for the person using the VR headset. Maybe even, like, control the jump scares, you know, make it more random.
There actually is a game that does that. I think it uses Twitter to load jump scares on games. I forgot the name of the game though. But I think once VR catches on enough, then we'll start seeing more multiplayer-oriented ones, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a single-player orientation for it.
Twitch will be incredibly interesting when people start sending commands like there's Pokemon.
But
Twitch plays Pokemon. But Twitch sets up jump scares for the user.
To make a slight add-on for that, though, just to run proper VR for one person takes a lot of horsepower.
Oh, hell yeah.
So trying to do that for two people on the same console is definitely why it's not available yet.
Well, yeah, you need at least one 980 to do it correctly.
Yeah, so you're basically trying to power 6 1080p resolution monitors.
So yeah, you're gonna need quite the big rig.
Basically the quad setup GTX Titan.
Crap loads of RAM. 64 gigs!
You are looking really red right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you blushing?
I'm so turned on about those video cards, those Titan X's there. Oh,
He's gonna start animating.
Just admit it, you remember our nights.
12 gigs of RAM, baby. 12 gigs.
Speaking of anime, our first anime review is coming out.
Yes, you said that.
Yeah, I said that during Game It All Live, but gonna mention it on Talking Shit because it's two different fucking audiences. So, first, and also we should be closing up here, to be honest. So, first anime review is coming out tomorrow, and it's Panty and Stocking featuring Garter Belt. So, yeah, awesome.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you, but you didn't do sponsors today.
No, this one is actually not sponsored.
It isn't. Perfect.
No, this one's not sponsored because we had some extra shit that we needed to talk about that wasn't sponsor worthy.
Like your car.
Yeah, like my car. And Freddy got fingered.
Because he got fingered.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
why
they don't
did
want to
Freddy get fingered?
Wasn't it that it was because his dad was kicking him out that he's just like, oh man,
he made up a lie.
He fingered my brother.
Yeah, like Daddy got drunk and he just was his finger.
I remember that scene. That is a movie I hate, but I quote constantly, and it pisses me off. It's like Napoleon Dynamite.
Do you
'Cause-
want a cheese sandwich?
It's the type of humor that people don't want to admit is funny in a bizarre way.
Even then, it's just like, ah. Anyways, so so anime review coming out. We also have, we already have a new film talk, but we have two more coming, and actually a big announcement for film talk coming up on Friday. So definitely stay tuned for that because it's a big one. We have a big
Kitty.
interview going on.
That's a
Brendan,
fat cat. Look at that cat. Such a big cat.
that's the skinny one.
Is it?
Yeah, that's not Shanny.
Damn.
There's a big black one walking around.
Yeah, that's the small white one.
That looks like a big cat.
The camera put on a few pounds.
Oh.
Maybe you put on a few pounds.
I did. Anyways, so yeah, new interviews are coming up this week with a big one coming up on Friday. And
Is it a porn star? Is it a porn star?
it's not a porn star. I can guarantee it's not a porn star. All that I can.
Is it sex tape?
No, it's not. It's no one's sex tape, and it's no one's porn. It's not a porn star.
It's Hulk Hogan.
Oh snap! We got Hulk. Oh.
To be honest, that
Hey,
would
brother.
be amazing.
That would be-
That would be amazing, to be honest. Just because.
My great grandfather was the biggest Hulk Hogan fan. He had every VHS out before he passed away.
Oh Jesus.
I remember growing up, I had those dolls that you can stretch out, the wrestling dolls that you could stretch out.
Stretch
Stretch
Armstrongs, yeah.
Stretch Armstrongs.
Yeah, I had the Hulk Hogan one when I was growing up.
I had a Vac Man because he was better.
That's awful. Anyways,
You're awful.
so new anime review, new interviews coming up this week. Also working on a review that for UFC, The Division, and another game that I cannot mention yet, but I can say that I am working on it.
The Division, I've hit the level 30 cat for primary levels. I hit level 50 in Dark Zone, and I can tell you once I hit that, then there's really nothing to do until DLC comes out.
And how many hours have you put into the game?
5.5 days of total playtime.
Okay. And how
That
many,
actually seems very little. Seems like very little content.
How
compared
many
to
hours
what
It
I'm
was
saying.
it was very little content because I hit level 30 within the first 24 hours.
what?
I remember.
I can do it with just by clearing the story missions.
Yeah,
Seriously,
the Dark Zone is
Ubisoft?
where you're going to spend most of your time.
Yeah.
And
I want to
You
clear
are-
the story before I get to Dark Zone, so
you
It's
are
still-
lucky as shit if you can avoid trolls. That's my main. Like a lot of the stuff of the game is great, but being trolled is by far the worst part.
I'm
Because
trying to end the fucking podcast, dude.
yeah,
Or if you want, you can write the fucking review.
no, I'm just putting my 2 cents for you. Maybe you can consider it.
I think maybe you should write the fucking review.
Yeah, I mean,
I-
you seem very opinionated.
You
about
seem
the
very
Division.
opinionated in
I
the
don't-
game. You
I
should
don't
write the
like-
fucking review.
I don't like writing about shit that pisses me off because I get more angry the more I write about it.
I don't like the
Then
game.
why the fuck are
Oh
you
my
writing for a
God.
fucking review site?
Because I write about games I love.
That eagle just picked up a thing. That's so cool.
What was it
Oh,
my
you're still
thing?
playing Primal. Okay. Anyways, for GameItAll.com, I was talking shit and finally ending this fucking podcast. My name's Lucas Grimm.
Oh goddamn, there's a snake.
That's his name.
Oh goddamn, this is Snake. That is now.
No,
Pino's name.
it's Pino 25.
A snake, oh, it's a snake. Oh.
And there's the
Okay.
A badger, 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 badger,
All right,
badger,
all right,
badger,
Rick.
badger.
Rick, I
honey
don't want-
badgers.
Copyright.
I'm pretty sure
Anyway.
that's not copyright.
It is actually.
Is
Honey
it?
badgers.
It is. The Badger
Ah.
song is copyrighted.
Too bad. I really wanted to get to the mushroom part.
You dick. Anyways, Lucas Graham, Pino25. Keep
The
going.
others.
And Laris.
And Rick.
No. Say it
And
right.
thank you guys for watching.
Sexy voice, Rick.
There you go.
Thank you all for watching this shit show.